over 50 years now, off and on, people have been looking at this piece of silver. The Right Honorable Earl Grey, then Governor General, made the presentation in 1909 for amateur rugby in Canada. Sometimes all but forgotten, the Grey Cup has grown into the symbol of supremacy in Canadian professional football. Today's Grey Cup madness, with its attendant beauty contests, parades, banquets, and general hijinks, can only be matched by the enthusiasm of the crowds that watched the first Grey Cup in 1909.
Swarmed into Varsity Stadium for the National Gridiron Classic. The largest crowd in Canadian football history watched Toronto Argonauts fight it out with the Edmonton Eskimos. The Argos took the game by 21-11 and captured the Grey Cup for the 10th time.
Here's to the everyday things that end up being everything. Here's to all things simple, with casual clothing and footwear from Marks.
Looking back through the scrapbook, we find that both television and Canadian football have come a long way since the first electronic game back in 1952. TV rights sold for $7,500, and only one station, CBLT in Toronto, carried the game between the Argos and the Eskimos live from Varsity Stadium. In those days, the striped shirts were worn by the Argonauts, not the Tiger Cats. The Eskimos, they bundled up, well, just like Eskimos. The movie hit in '52, High Noon, a shoot-'em-out showdown starring Gary Cooper. The Argos had their own hired gun, a quarterback from a small school in Ohio. His name, Nobby Workowski. This early footage shows the dark-shirted Eskimos controlling much of the game, but the Argo defense under coach Frank Clare didn't give way. The Eskimos used a little fancy footwork. Today it would be known as the flea flicker. Back then, it was Edmonton coach Frankie Filchock's lateral pass. Filchock also tried a shotgun offense that day. The Argos weren't fooled for a moment. The Argos of that era had the powerhouse. The Eskimos were starting to build a true Grey Cup contender. In the end, it was Nobby Workowski who ran for one touchdown and passed to Zeke O'Connor for another, and the Double Blue won their last Grey Cup in '52. Ironically, it was the last time the Eskimos and the Argos met in the Canadian football final.
The largest crowd in Grey Cup history saw Rod Pantages of the Eskimos take a pass, streak down the sidelines to the one, and fumble into touch. Normie Kwong on his second try goes over for a touchdown, and Edmonton fans go wild. Eskimos lead Argos 5-0. In the second quarter, Nobby Workowski passes to Doug Pfizer, who dangles down the sideline. Deeks Rolly Miles dodges another Eskimo, and Rolly Prather knocks her into touch on the one. Late in the game, Ed Sorgel intercepts Claude Arnold's pass and gets to the Edmonton 36. With Argonauts ahead, 15-11, Workowski fades back, spots Zeke O'Connor in the clear, and lays a pass in his arms. O'Connor goes over for the touchdown, and it's a 21-15 victory for Toronto. Joe Kroll, an outstanding star for years, got off the bench only to kick in this game, his farewell appearance. It was his 7th Dominion final.